Hi there guys, what is up and what is going on today? It is I, Azure here, and welcome to my showcase of Eevee's Eeveelutions from the Kanto region of Pokemon and Rivals of Aether. If you guys are familiar with my first part of this showcase here featuring Eevee and Rivals of Aether's workshop, then for any that are not caught up to speed here, this is a part 2 video featuring Eevee's Eeveelutions that are finally complete and ready to be shown off here in battle at last. And what its many Eeveelutions can truly do here, then be sure to check down below in the good old description box to be promptly redirected to the Steam Workshop page, so that way you two here can try out Eevee and all of its many fascinating original 3 Eeveelutions. So first off, going over Jolteon here, we have its insane ground movement. And then as we go on into its physical attacks here, we're going to keep things simple though, and start off with its neutral attacks. So as you guys can see, Jolteon is a force to be reckoned with here in terms of movement speed here, zipping around the battlefield at honestly speeds that will make even Pikachu flinch. Now then, why don't we move right along here and get into Jolteon's strong attacks. So first up, neutral, then up heavy, now followed by down heavy. Alright, now then for the meat and potatoes here of Jolteon's moveset, why don't we go ahead and see what those special attacks can really do. So we do have a charge meter here that we can build up electricity with to show off Jolteon's powers and really give our opponents a real shock. And to give our opponents here a real shock. That was Jolteon's side special right there, which also acts as a short but brief teleport move, like so, to help us out when we're in a tight pinch. Now then, moving right along to Jolteon's down special. So to use that move, you have to have enough meter here charged up in order to unleash its true potential, like so. That move in particular I feel like could really help to take out opponents that are unfortunately camping out here in the great outdoors and decide to hang around on the ledges of stages here. So that move can really be useful there in dispatching them. That move I feel could be rather useful in dispatching them quite quickly. So then, as for Jolteon's up special, and I'd say that just about covers it then for Jolteon, the first of the 3 Eeveelutions here from the Kanto region of Pokemon. As we move along now to part 2, that being Flareon, the fire evolution of Eevee. Quite similar to Jolteon here, Flareon also uses a meter-based mechanic to really help it stand out here amongst the Eeveelutions with its fire-based attacks. Going over Flareon's movement speed here, you can see though, in stark contrast to its brethren, Flareon is not exactly that agile. It does have a better jump than Jolteon, but in terms of ground movement speed, it is, in particular, quite slow, at least compared to Jolteon here. In general, though, this thing still manages to kick up a lot of speed, and dust, you could say, and give our opponents one heck of a time. Kicking things off here with Flareon's physical attacks. We can also combo that down physical attack here a few more times to really add on the pressure here. So then, going over now Flareon's neutral heavy. It's down heavy, as well as its up heavy. All of these though really help to add a lot of damage here to our opponent and really show him who's boss. Now then, as we move along now to Flareon's neutral special attack, as well as its side special. Now then for its down special. As well as its up special, or recovery move. Now then, that'll just about do it for things here, concluding Flareon's tutorial, as we move along now into the water evolution of Eevee, that being Vaporeon. Here we are now with the third and final of the Eeveelutions here from the Kanto region, that being the water type Pokemon known as Vaporeon. So going over Vaporeon's movement here, and jumping as well, might add, we can see that it basically is tied with Flareon here in terms of mobility, but still has got, in my opinion here, nothing against Jolteon in terms of maneuverability on the battlefield here. Alright, now then, to kick things off here and try out Vaporeon's physical attacks, let's go over the neutral, side neutral, up physical attack, and down physical attack. Now, moving along to the heavy hitters here, you could say, that being Vaporeon's neutral heavy. Then for Vaporeon's up heavy. As well as its down heavy. Now for the real kicker here, Vaporeon's special attacks. So first up, it's neutral, which is, I believe, water gun. We can also charge and hold here, waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike our opponents and knock them out for the count. We are going to go ahead now and try out Vaporeon's side special, which also helps to give us a lot of massive air for jumping off a wall here, like so, and give us a nifty little boost. So then, moving along now to Vaporeon's down special, which we can also use in midair, along with many of the other Eeveelutions' variety of moves here, based on their elemental evolution. And then last but certainly not least, we have Vaporeon's up special or recovery move. And I'd say that on that note, that just about does it and concludes things here for the Eeveelutions tutorial. Now then, why don't we see what these three can really do though in a Pokemon battle, and see what they've got. It's time to battle. Alright, now our first official battle here with Eevee is about to begin, as we now have Eevee's three original Eeveelutions get their own individual time in the spotlight here. Okay, now why don't we show this Pokemon trainer here who's boss, and show him that Eevee's not messing around, especially when it has the evolution stones in its possession. Let's go, Eevee. It's time to kick some Pokemon trainer butt. Now we just have to wait here until we collect one of our many evolution stones to really dish out the pain and show this Pokemon trainer what a real battle looks like. Alright, so we don't have those stones of ours quite yet, but we shall acquire them soon. As they say anyway, good things come to those who wait. This Pokemon trainer really does have a all-star team here. And we finally have all of the evolution stones. Now then, why don't we kick things up a notch here and really turn up the heat on our opponent. Alright, we did it. Eevee's now evolved into Jolteon. They're in for a real shock now. Let's go, Jolteon. No holding back. Let's shock our opponent here into next week. They're almost down for the count. And that is game. And that'll just about do it right there, I'd say, for our first battle featuring Jolteon, the electric type evolution of Eevee. Yeah, I'd say for what it's worth here, this evolution stone mechanic for Eevee is really one that is something that has to be truly experienced firsthand to grasp its incredible sense of power. So then moving right along here, we're going to go ahead and get our second match with Eevee all set up and underway. As the hits just keep coming here in this contest to see who really is the most powerful Pokemon. Now as we begin our second round here of battles with Eevee, this Pokemon trainer has a lot to learn. It thinks that just because it caught a few Pokemon here and there on its journey that it has something worth going for it, but we're going to show it that they're unfortunately a little bit wrong. And they have a lot of training to do. Bring it, Pokemon trainer. We'll show you a thing or two. See what I mean? They really should go back to the Pokemon Academy. It's dangerous out here after all, with all these wild Pokemon and whatnot roaming about. Alright, if only we had our evolution stones. Okay, that one was a cheap shot. Come on, Eevee. Let's keep this pressure up. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Guess we have to keep messing around here with this Pokemon trainer. Perhaps we need a little bit more experience first, before we can unleash our power. Alright, we did it. Let's turn up the heat. Now, Flareon is ours to command. Yeah, and that is game. Wow, for what it was worth there, I wasn't too sure if we were going to be getting any of the evolutions that time around here for that battle. But somehow we managed to acquire the Fire Stone and have Eevee evolve into Flareon there right at the last few seconds of the battle. That was really something though for what it was worth, and I love the fact that for each of these three evolutions here, they all have their own range of different effects based off their typing, which really helps to add a lot of uniqueness and personality to them, fleshing them out more than just being simple palette swaps and whatnot for Eevee, since Eevee is after all one of my favorite Pokemon throughout the entire generation of the franchise as a whole, you could say. Since the early days, growing up watching Pokemon in the early 2000s, so now then, why don't we go ahead though and get our third battle with Eevee all underway as we teach this Pokemon trainer a thing or two and show them who's boss. Let's go, Eevee. As I was saying though, this time around I really hope that we can acquire the Water Stone and aim to evolve Eevee here into Vaporeon to help sink our opponent's dreams, you could say, as they've now made it to the Pokemon League. But Eevee has different plans for them today. Alright, now why don't we dish out some pain here. Come on, Eevee. Why don't we keep this momentum going? As we roll right on into our foes and bowl them over. Wasn't sure that move was going to connect right there, but somehow it did. And still no stones. Ah well. Perhaps we don't need them this time around. Oh, now they put up a fight, huh? I see how it is. There we go. At last, we did it. Now Vaporeon's on the scene. What was that all about? I thought you were going to defeat us there. I thought you were going to defeat us and move on to challenging the Elite Four. Alright, you Pokemon trainer. Let's finish this battle in style. Alright, why don't we finish off this Pokemon trainer for good and send them on their way back home. Yeah, why don't we wrap this match up? Still got some fighting ya, huh? Fate has other plans for you. Alright, it's time for us to end this battle once and for all. Now, this is it. Guess that was all you had. And that looks like it's game to me, I'd say, as Vaporeon has vanquished his Pokemon trainer from the Pokemon League, sending them on their way, unfortunately, back home. Now that Eevee, though, here has achieved its dream of traveling to the Pokemon League, why don't we go ahead and get one more match with Eevee here, all set up and ready to go a while, as the evolutions just keep coming, or I guess you could say just keep evolving, of sorts, as we move on now and travel to the Sky Pillar from Pokemon Diamond and Pokemon Pearl, as Eevee's journey isn't finished quite yet. Now let's go, Eevee, and show this trainer who's boss. This is going to be where all the training is paid off. Wasn't sure we'd make that recovery there, but somehow we did. Just goes to show though how awesome Eevee is. Ooh, this Pokemon trainer is pulling out all the stops here. Talk about a welcome surprise. Speaking of surprises though, where are those evolution stones of ours? Perhaps we'll be seeing them sometime soon. Hopefully rather than later. I think we just have to keep up this strategy of ours and hope to achieve victory. And then, you know, sooner or later we'll have those stones of ours in our possession. But that's not going to bring us down, though, or deter us. Oh, no. Alright. Let's keep this pace up, Eevee. Two KOs in and we don't even have the evolution stones yet. Maybe we don't need them. Who am I kidding? They are really, really fun to use and utilize in battle. Yeah, why don't we wait and see if we can evolve Eevee into either Flareon or Jolteon. Just in the nick of time. Alright, you Pokemon trainer, why don't we end this battle? Why don't we burn our opponent here up? And their strategy. And that is game, as Flareon has seemingly scorched the competition and helped Eevee to finally achieve glory. And I'd say that on that extremely fiery note there, that would just about do it for things here on my end, and conclude this showcase featuring Eevee's original 3 Kanto Eeveelutions from the Pokemon series in Rivals of Aether. I hope you guys have all enjoyed this showcase though from me, continuing onward here and expanding upon my original showcase featuring Eevee and its wide variety of evolutions from the Kanto region that it originally is from, found within the Pokemon universe. This is one character I feel now has finally achieved its full potential here, and I cannot help but recommend this enough to anyone who's not just a fan of, well, the Pokemon series here, but having the ability to play as multiple characters in one single character is something that I'm always up for. So I'd say that in terms of drawbacks though, minus I'd say a few sound effects here and there, in terms of design choice, is one of the most polished Pokemon mods in the entire Rivals workshop, and one that should not be taken lightly. Because, well, if you do, you're going to be meeting one of the 3 original evolutions here. So, but yeah, I'd say that with all that aside, that would just about do it though for things here and conclude my thoughts and opinions on this Rivals of Aether workshop character mod. So then guys, I'd say until we meet again in my next video, be sure as always to keep it tuned though right here for all this and much more content from me. And so, until we meet again next time, I've been your host for today, Azure, and I am signing off for now. For I'll be catching you guys all on the flip side. So until then, remember to take care. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.